Recently, in order to cooperate with the US a technology war, Germany unilaterally announced the suspension of the export of high-speed rail wheels to mainland China, involving an amount of up to $80 million. In this regard, the United States ridiculed China. Without wheels, how can you build high-speed rail? How did China deal with this situation? Let's take a closer look in this video. Difficulties of China's independent production of high-speed rail wheels. As we all know, high-speed rail is the most representative business card in China, and the operating mileage of up to 40,000 kilometers is beyond the reach of Europe and the United States. In fact, in recent years, after China's high-speed rail has received a large number of orders from Russia, Saudi Arabia, and Southeast Asia, hidden worries have also begun to emerge. Perhaps many people don't know that although China's high-speed rail is the most powerful in the world, it still has to rely on Western giants such as Japan and Germany for some key components, such as the high-speed bearings needed to manufacture high-speed rail wheels. In the past, the technological war between China and the United States had not yet broken out, and this kind of cooperation was fairly harmonious, but everything changed when Germany and Japan changed their faces to follow the United States. According to media reports, Germany unilaterally announced to suspend the export of high-speed rail wheels to China in order to cooperate with the US technological war, involving an amount of up to $80 million, equivalent to 550 million renminbi. Obviously, there is no lack of selfishness in Germany's cutthroat strategies of the mainland's high-speed rail. After all, they were the overlord in the high-speed rail field 10 years ago, but now they are completely crushed by China. At the same time, the US government gloated on the sidelines. Without high-speed rail wheels, what would China do? German and Japanese experts also believed that without their support, China will not be able to produce high-speed rail wheels within 5 years. Whether it is tolerable or unbearable, then the Chinese high-speed rail personnel launched a counterattack. In fact, high-speed rail wheels cannot be made of ordinary steel. You must know that a high-speed rail carriage weighs 50 to 60 tons. When all the weight is pressed on 4 pairs of high-speed rail wheels, each pair of wheels needs to bear more than 10 tons of pressure. At the same time, China's high-speed rail has a very fast running speed, usually around 200 to 300 kilometers per hour, and some can reach 350 kilometers per hour. To withstand such a fast running speed, it is conceivable that the friction between the wheels and the high-speed rail track is very high. The heat generated by this friction will make the wheels in a high-temperature state. So how to make the wheels of the high-speed rail resistant to high temperature, and the temperature can drop after the vehicle stops without deformation? These requirements, which are easy to say, are actually very difficult to achieve. Because the high-speed rail wheels are combined with many bearings and small parts, they are very fine, and the machining accuracy requirements are also very high. The manufacturing process of high-speed rail wheels is definitely a comprehensive test of a country's metallurgical process. Although China is the largest steel industry country in the world, it has long lagged behind foreign countries in the field of high-end steel production. Even for many high-end steel products, China also needs to export its own ordinary steel products, process them by foreign companies, and then buy them at high prices. Only relying on OEM has already made foreigners a lot of money. Manufacturing high-speed rail wheels is difficult and requires high quality, and China is still in the early stages of high-speed rail development, and the manufacturing technology in all aspects is still too immature. At the same time, in order to ensure the safety of the high-speed rail, The wheels must be replaced after the driving distance exceeds 2.4 million kilometers. High-speed rail wheels are daily consumables. In the past, China's high-speed rail wheels were almost entirely dependent on imports, and the disadvantages of wheel imports became more prominent. Not only that, in order to seek more benefits, countries such as Germany and Japan have blocked advanced high-speed rail wheel manufacturing technology, resulting in a long-term monopoly of high-speed rail wheel production. It is imperative for China to break the monopoly of foreign high-speed rail wheel production. Exploration of the independent production of high-speed rail wheels in China. However, without the support of advanced manufacturing technology, China's independent research and development process was really difficult. Since the wheels were so difficult to make, how did China overcome these problems? China was determined to build a modern high-speed rail network with independent intellectual property rights, and has autonomy and the right to speak in high-speed rail manufacturing. Since 2014, it has been continuously carrying out independent innovation. In the early stage of project development, many people still have no hope for this. Because even the most advanced technology in China at that time could not produce high-speed rail wheels that met the requirements. In several tests, the wheel's production failed due to problems such as load bearing, thermal expansion, and cold contraction. However, the Chinese high-speed rail personnel did not give up because of this, but checked for omissions and made up for vacancies, and finally realized that China's domestic high-end metallurgical technology was backward at that time, resulting in the country's lack of high-quality steel with excellent performance required for the production of high-speed rail wheels. It was precisely because of this that several major domestic companies were actively seeking corporate transformation and upgrading, and dismantling foreign high-end technologies. The raw material for manufacturing high-speed rail wheels is a special steel which cannot be produced in China at one time, and can only rely on high-priced imports from foreign countries. But after years of independent research and development, China has finally realized the independent production of two domestically produced Fuxing high-speed rail wheels. The factory that produces high-speed rail wheels in China is mainly Jiqi Railway Equipment Company. This company has gradually progressed from assembly to forging high-speed rail wheel blanks, and has achieved localization of raw materials. In 2020, China finally invented the composite wheel. This wheel is made of medium carbon silicon plate silicon alloy material, which has good flexibility and hardness within the requirements. Now China has its own mature production line. The high-speed rail wheels produced by Taiyuan Heavy Industry Transportation Equipment Company, Limited and Jiqi Rail Equipment Company, Limited fully meet the qualified requirements comparable to foreign wheels, and even better. China's high-speed rail wheel production catches up. According to media sources, after Germany announced the suspension of the supply of high-speed rail wheels, the Chinese achieved mass production of high-speed rail wheels in just a few months. China Jiqi alone has the production and maintenance capacity of 100,000 pairs of wheels per year. After research and development and upgrading, China's high-speed rail wheels have extremely high precision, strength, and quality. They cooperate with high-performance buffer rails, and even a standing coin will not be shaken. Up to now, the domestic use rate of China's high-speed rail wheels has reached 95%. It can be said that China has said goodbye to the era of relying on imported wheels. Obviously, Germany made a wrong calculation this time and lost $80 million for no reason, and the gloating of the United States has become a joke in the industry. German netizens expressed angrily about this. They were fooled by the Americans. Today, in terms of high-speed rail technology, China has far surpassed Japan and Germany, realizing that the latecomers are ahead. Originally, they could cooperate with China and earn more benefits for themselves, but now they can only look at this piece of fat and can't eat it. Will Japan and Germany regret it now when they know about it? Do you think high-speed rail technology should be entirely in the hands of China itself? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.